Hello, my name is Fernando.
And my name is Teschima. We are English Language and Arts undergraduate students at WELL. And in today's video, we are going to talk about mixing languages and how English influences other languages.
English has around 1.35 billion speakers around the world.
It is used daily in many countries around the globe.
This is in part because of the social, historical, and economical relevance of English-speaking countries, like the United States and the United Kingdom.
And all of this results in English being one of the most influential languages around the world.
This influence can be seen in many countries and languages.
This contact that English has with other languages results in new linguistic variations that surge by combining different aspects of both dialects. Examples of this occurrence are Singlish from Singapore and Tinglish from Thailand.
This is not the only influence English has. A lot of times, it isn't something big, like a whole new language variation, but some words that are introduced in a language and everyone uses it without realizing its origins. And similarly, English has had an interesting impact on Japanese language. As mentioned in Minoru Fukada's 2017 research, Katakana Loanwork in Elementary School English Education. The influence of English has created what we call katakana eigo, referring to how we can write English words using the katakana writing. By using the system, it is possible to see the many differences between the two languages, especially related to the pronunciation of these words. For example, when writing red in Japanese, since in this language we don't have the sound of consonants alone, we put an O at the end. So, red, reading in katakana, becomes retto. Outside that, we also have cases in which English words are used to create new expressions that are not originally used in English. For example, sararima, to refer to a businessman, baby car, to refer to a stroller, and jet coaster, when talking about a roller coaster. There are also words that are the same as in English, but becomes a false cognate when they are used in Japanese, like consento, which reads as constant, but means electrical outlets and sockets. Additionally, there are also cases where the word in English is shortened when used in Japanese. For example, the word mistake becoming misu, or miss. These words are used in daily communication in Japan and show us a perfect example of how influential English is in other languages and cultures.
Another occurrence of this influence is what we call code switching. Waller, 2004, defines code switching as an individual's use of two or more languages, varieties in the same speech event or exchange. And in a research based on the so-called code switching occurring within Facebook by the name of Keep Calm e Mude o Código from Veiga Cristina and Bárbara Cristina, showcase more important information regarding this area, with research tools that are fit for language-speaking investigations like participant observation, video and audio recording, and semi-structured interviews. And views on why this happens by some young practicants of mixing languages. They believe that this type of transformations in language occurs due to a lack of competence in one of the mixed languages. Zentella, 1997, refers to this type of code switching as crutching or crutch-like switching, because like someone who relies on a crutch walk, a bilingual who is stuck in one language can keep on speaking by depending on a translated synonym as a stand-in. Zentella reported that crutch-like switches constituted only 25% of the number of strategic switches that she documented in 1997. Show that the majority of this code switching occurs due to a close proficiency in the languages known by the speakers. The influence of English in other languages is another example of the globalization of modern societies that comes with the English language and the variations that are present around the whole world.
The situation also brings up a lot of points about how our culture is constantly being influenced by English-speaking countries' cultures, especially by the US's. But it's also important for us to understand that influence is not the same as domination.
We can make use of this effect to create new things that are not necessarily related to those countries, like it's the case of the examples brought up by us.
Following this perspective, it's important to bring these cases into the English classroom, especially in countries where this language mixing is very present, like Spanish-speaking nations, Singapore, Thailand, and Japan. By teaching students these varieties, they will be able to have a better understanding of how the English language functions and how it differs from their mother tongue, which, as pointed out by Minoru Fukada, can also help their future studies in the English language. They would already have the previous understanding of its functionality when compared to other languages.
It's relevant to your class when we discuss about different linguistic contexts and variety in languages. This can also bring to the students the perspective of English as a global language having many varieties and none of them being above the other. It's a good and healthy perspective to have when you're learning English. We have reached the end of the video.
We hope that it was useful for you and that you were able to learn more about language mixing. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments what did you think about this topic. Thank you for watching and goodbye.